So let's go ahead and get started. Let me get my presentation up and I will share screen. So I want to welcome everyone. Today we have with us Moreno Valley College, Norco College, and Riverside City College, along with UCR, and we're excited to do this info session about data science and share with you really exciting summer fellowship at UCR. So for the agenda, we will begin with faculty introduction so you can get to know us. Most of you have taken our classes, but you have not met UCR faculty. Also, we want to talk a little bit about data science pathway, what courses you will be able to take in fall 2023 to get ready for UCR transfer, and the exciting summer fellowship and what that entails. And in the last couple of the slides in the presentation, it's going to show you how you can apply to the fellowship program and the benefits of that. And we will take question and answer. So I will start with the formal introduction. We have with us this morning is Dr. Miriam Saloom. So she will begin with her introduction.
Hi, everyone. It's great to be with you this morning. I'm Miriam Saloom. I'm an assistant teaching professor in the computer science department at UC Riverside, and I am also the undergraduate advisor for UCR's new data science program. We're also leading this project to create data science pathways across the Inland Empire, and really excited about the various opportunities.
I'm next on the list. My name is Casey Nguyen. I am a CIS associate professor at Moreno Valley College, which is part of the Riverside Community College District. I teach computer science, computer programming, and cybersecurity courses. Next, we have Caroline.
Next on the list, my name is Caroline Hutchings. I'm an assistant professor in the math department at Norco College. I teach predominantly statistics. I've had experience working in the field of statistics, and so I bring the statistics side to the data science.
So, hi, I'm Mary Legner, and I'm a professor at Riverside City College. I'm a math professor, and I teach STEM math courses, such as differential equations and calculus. And I'm going to hand it over to Mark now.
Good morning. My name is Mark Lair. I teach computer science and engineering classes at RCC. We just got through this last weekend putting on the ICPC Southern California programming competition, where we had all the schools there from UCR to Caltech to all the UCs, and Harvey Mudd was there, and some of the community colleges, and we had a great time doing our programming competition. We also have the ACM Club, which is our computer club that has participated in some NASA research projects. And so I teach mainly the computer science courses on the campus. And so that's our background. I come from engineering and have taken a lot of things out in the field and tested them and programmed them up. Just love programming big robots. So that is basically my background. So let me talk about data science, because this is kind of near and dear to my heart. And when UCR came to us to kind of promote a pathway in this field, it kind of took a broad interest from my background. back in the 90s, I worked on a program called Phalanx, which was an autonomous radar directed gun system. And we did everything that was here. When it says data science, it encompasses preparing data for analysis, cleansing, aggregating, manipulating. We actually created hardware that then we would have to model in the mainframes and then go out and create the control systems that then would control the huge robots that would be used to basically engage targets off a ship. So that's why this is kind of near and dear to my heart. So one of the problems that we had, and I'll relate some specific instances, Phalanx had a computer that was fairly old, and we developed new algorithms for it, and we got in several people that knew neural nets. We developed the common filters, but they were neural nets and classifiers. So we tried this in actual situation, and in that particular situation, the data science classifiers couldn't beat the neural nets. The neural nets couldn't beat the common filters at the time, but there was enough interest as a classification where General Dynamics sent me off to UCR to get my degree in statistics. So later on, I got to use, when I went to work at RCC, I took a fellowship at NASA and got to utilize neural nets to classify PRCS thruster problems. So that we got a grant from NASA and basically employed 4 students at RCC for a couple of years to investigate that problem. I'll post the work that we did on the chat session so that you can go grab and look at what the students did in terms of analysis and that type of thing. But this is a great topic in terms of bringing it to the community colleges as a pathway into the universities. So because there's nothing better than to take actual data, analyze it, and then make some predictions with it. And this pathway allows you to utilize computers, math, and everything together to be able to do that in the development of algorithms and actually putting your work into the field. So next one, Casey. The pathways that you can see here in data science have grown greatly in the last 10 years in particular. The job growth is, it says there's 650%, but I'm a member of the American Statistical Association, and they posted just this last couple of months that over the past decade, it's grown even larger than that. So the Department of Labor sees this as a growing field, and given that it's a growing field, it's something that most of our students should be interested in. So go ahead, Casey. We're doing it.
Okay, so I'd like to talk just a minute about some of the skills that are used in data science. Data science is a good combination of statistics and computer science. It really has been a field that's been born from the merging of those 2 fields. So when we're talking about statistics, we're generally using some of those statistical analyses that you see, such as regression, analysis of variance, non-parametric statistics, but we're also encompassing some of the skills that are used in computer science. And lucky for us today, we have someone from the field who's currently working in data science. So I'm going to turn the time over to Surbi, and she's going to give us a little bit of information about what she does.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, my name is Surbi, and I'm a data scientist at Momentive.ai, formerly known as SurveyMonkey. Before going into what I do on a day-to-day basis, I'll just give you a brief background about myself as to from when I have been in this field. So I came into this field around 7 years ago. And before that, I was engineering come finance person. And that is how I entered this field through financial risk management, through data analysis and business analysis, risk assessment for financial banks, retail banks. And from there, I diverged into other industries like e-commerce, retail, and started taking up data science projects. And I've been at Momentive for around 15 months. To give you a little background about my day-to-day work here. So I'm part of the product data science team, which means that the SurveyMonkey or the Get Feedback, all the products that fall under Momentive.ai, we improve that, or we add new features, or we build new products using machine learning and AI. Now, this request could come from the customers, internal customers, which is a product, or we could, look at improving the features and the product by ourselves, or going a little deeper into the feature set. For example, we have this feature in our surveys product, wherein if you get open-ended responses, we evaluate those open-ended responses for the quality of responses. You know, if there's any profanity present, if there is, even for close-ended responses, in fact, if anybody's speeding, or are they doing any kind of pattern forming, really not filling the survey. But just because there are audience panels, right, to get paid to fill these surveys. So so another feature that we're looking to go deep into is to check whether a response we're getting for any of the open-ended questions, whether that is relevant or not. It will not have any profanity, it will not have any gibberish or any unwanted word, but it may not be relevant to the question at all. So that's how you keep improving the product, keep making it more artificially intelligent, by keep making the features more intelligent. That is one of the products I'm working on. And another aspect that is a great part of I think any data science team, be it product or be it business, is statistical analysis, because we may get results from our models that we train, but how relevant are they? How much can we rely on those results? So that is another major part, identifying the metric we want to use, identifying the tests we want to use. That is another part. And one interesting thing that is coming up nowadays, and it is primarily because it was the demand of the customers. And that is the explainability of all the data science or machine learning or AI models. And one of the easier ways I can think of to explain that to you is, suppose you are a Twitter user and you've typed something, and for some unknown reason, your comment gets deleted or your account gets blocked. And once you contact the customer care, they just tell you that, you did something wrong. They do not know exact reason themselves, because a black box machine learning AI system just detected something and they just blocked you or deleted your post. So explainability tells you as to why that happened, why that action was taken, why did the model or the whole pipeline labeled you bad or labeled your post bad. So that is another thing that data scientists are getting into, because all these models are extremely complex to explain as to why they make a decision. So another important feature is the explainability. Any questions, anybody?
Can you share a little bit about your education background with the student?
Sure. So I am an electrical engineer. So yeah, a lot of statistics, programming, was involved, a big part of my curriculum. And post that, I have done MBA, majoring in finance. But when I was getting to data science, I did educate myself in a number of certifications and courses. One of the good ones that that I really enjoyed was by Andrew Ng. His deep learning.ai courses, they are very nicely explained. But as far as a formal data science degree is concerned, I do not have that.
What made you choose data science?
So when I was working as a financial risk management for a retail bank, I was in finance for some time, and I would see friends in the same company in a different team who were working for a different client, which would be e-commerce. The way they formulated the solutions, it all seemed very interesting to me. So yeah, initially it was just like the first project I took up was out of curiosity and to see how it works. But then I found it so nice. Yeah, I decided to stick to it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, everybody.
Thank you. We appreciate your presentation today. In the next part, we're going to talk about what to look for in 2023 so you can be ready for data science at University of California, Riverside. So we started building the associate degree in data science. The courses will be available to you in fall 2023. You will have statistics and STEM courses. The majority of the math courses, if you are a STEM major, you have started taking these classes already. We also built in elective courses such as Introduction to Machine Learning, but the programming courses are generally just Python. You will be taking some database courses. Now, in the analytics side, you would have the same courses except for 2 less math courses. So that will be something that you can pursue. So when you take the associate degree, you can also earn a certificate of achievement in data analytics. So it allows you to also seek some entry-level experience, and we hope to build some apprenticeship down the line. So the next part, I'm going to bring in Dr. Saloom. She's going to talk about the fellowship.
Great, thank you. So one of the things that we're really excited about that will bring all of these institutions who are really working together to build data science pathways is this summer fellowship program. So we had received a large grant from the NSF to create all these pathways, these certificates, associate's degree, bachelor's degree at UCR. We're also working on minors and master's degree programs. But one thing that will bring all students together is a summer fellowship program, which will be accepting its first cohort this summer. Is a 10-week program that starts June 13th and ends August 19th. And students will be paired in teams and will be working on a project that is proposed by industry partners or faculty. Every scholar that participates will be receiving a $5,000 stipend to be part of this program. And you'll be essentially receiving training in the form of workshops, and you'll be attending talks by professionals in data science, as well as working in teams under faculty supervision on an industry provided project. So these are some of the things that the program includes. So we will be holding a wide selection of workshops that will talk about what is data science, first of all, but then, how to deal with data cleaning, data wrangling, introduces you to various big data platforms and machine learning techniques. We also have a set of professional development workshops that will walk you through how to prepare your CV, how to give an effective oral presentation, some skills that you'll need when you start interviewing for your next job. The cultivating event will be the summer symposium, and this is where students and teams will be presenting their projects to faculty and industry members. And this is a really great opportunity because industry is looking to hire people like you with basic background in data science. So there'll be a lot of opportunities for internships, for full-time positions, and just to learn about the various companies in the Inland Empire. So what are the type of projects? Well, we're still collecting project ideas, but I can give you a few ideas based on what we selected. So we have a project from NASA Ames, and they have a lot of flight data. So imagine you're on a flight, and they're monitoring the descending pattern of this flight, and they're collecting, over 100 data points, over 100 features, anything from how the speed of the plane, from the wing angle, various things. And they want us to help, one, build dashboards to visualize this data, and then two, build models to predict anomalies in this flights. We're also working with Foothill Transit, and they provided a lot of data in the Inland Empire, and they want us to analyze the data to improve bus prediction time. We're working with NASA JPL, and we're getting a lot of data from Mars Orbiter, and we're interested in analyzing different anomalies and visualizing that data. And then just to give another project idea, we're also working with Riverside County, and they have a lot of data on social workers and their employees, and they want to understand retention patterns and find ways to improve that. So there's a lot of exciting projects that teams will be working on, and when you're accepted, you'll be able to see the full set of projects and provide your preference on which project you would like to work on. So here's the link to the application process, the application form. Let's see if we can paste that in the chat. Okay, perfect. And I don't know if we can open the application form for a minute.
Yes, we can.
Okay, I'll do that. So this is the application form that you'll be directed to. And the first page is just standard information. So I'm just gonna put in the information. So let's say you are from Riverside City College. And it will take you to this next page. And what you'll see here is you'll be asked to fill in which courses you've taken or you plan to take. So it's a big list. And obviously not everybody has taken all of these courses. So don't be intimidated from this long list. The objective of this is just to understand your background so that when we are pairing you up with a team and assigning you a project, we just have a good understanding of your background and assign you to an appropriate team. So you most likely you've taken 2 courses. No one would probably have taken all of this long list. So don't be intimidated by that. The objective of this is just so that we understand your background and can assign you to an appropriate project. So the first page will walk you through, the coursework, so you can select whichever courses that you've taken, and complete the rest of the application, which includes are you a STEM student, how many units you've completed so far, if you're pursuing any of these options. And then the next page will take you to the application form, where you're required to provide a statement of interest. So let me zoom in my window just a minute. So this is a 2-page double-spaced statement of interest. And here we provided some hints on some things that you can discuss. You obviously don't have to address every single point, but these are just suggestions. Basically, what we're interested in is understanding why you are interested in data science in this particular opportunity. We're interested in understanding a little bit more about your program. Maybe you have experience in data science outside of coursework. So will be a great place to write about that. So maybe you haven't taken any computing courses, but you've done something on the side, or you've encountered a situation that really piqued your interest and you want to pursue this. So this is your chance to discuss that and discuss your academic background or any other outreach activities or other activities that you wanted to highlight. So this is one thing that you'll be asked to submit. The other, so once you do that, you'll upload the file here. You're also asked to provide an unofficial transcript, a CV or a resume. Here we provided some resources so you can see what a CV or a resume looks like. Essentially, you just list what degree you're pursuing, what positions you've had. So maybe you've had on-campus jobs, you can list those. You can discuss any other activities that you want to highlight. So this is what the CV would include. And then the name of references. So this could be an instructor, faculty that you've taken course with. This could be a manager, whoever you think could talk about a little bit about either your academic background or your work ethics. So this is essentially what's included in this application. So this is the last part, and then the next page is just collecting demographic information.
Hi, Miriam. Can you talk a little bit about some additional funding that a student can apply for if they are low income?
Yeah, that's a great point, Casey. So there is also an additional opportunity where students can get up to $10,000 in funding if they qualify. I will find the link and share that opportunity in just a minute. And so this will be on top of the $5,000 stipend that you would receive as part of this program. So I will share that. And so once you're accepted into this program, we'll provide you the appropriate links and you can apply for that additional opportunity. And the idea of this program is that we're connecting with industry, and they're really excited about having students work on this because there's really a demand for a data science workforce, and there's a big shortage in folks adequately trained in this basic skill set. So employers, companies are really excited about supporting these type of programs. And so this summer you may participate in the fellowship, but next summer you may land that full-time position or that internship position because of your connections as part of this program. So you'll be connected through those opportunities, and you'll be also connected with other funding opportunities as part of this program.
And I also like to add that tech company, I met with Apple this week for some training, and they mentioned that they like to have student involved on the projects because students have a different perspective on how to solve problems sometimes, and students are very innovative. So this fellowship opportunity is going to also allow us to see how you address some of the issues using the data points. And we're excited to collaborate with you and help you prepare for your data science degree as you complete the fellowship program this summer. So if you have any questions, here are our emails. The email addresses that you see on screen, starting with Dr. Saloom and the RCCD faculty. If you have questions regarding the applications or the data science pathway, please feel free to drop us an email. We will respond, and as you apply for the fellowship, once you accept it, you should receive communication from us. And now we will take questions. So if you have questions, you can also put it into the chat, or you can unmute and ask the questions.
I would like to know how many students you accepting for the fellowship.
So Miriam, would you like to answer that question? How many students are you accepting for the fellowship this summer?
Yeah, so the fellowship will have about 30 students in the cohort, but they will come from the various institutions. So correct me if I'm wrong, Casey, I think we have about 3 or 4 positions from the Riverside Community College District that we would need to fill this summer.
Right, that's correct. So we normally, so this is competitive. So that means that you would need to put a little effort in the description, the applications. We also accepting fellows from, or UCR is also accepting fellows from other community college and other institutions. So just to let you know that, so I would submit it before the deadline. And I would spend a little bit more time on putting together a nice package for the application.
I received one question in the chat that I would like to address. So someone says, if I've taken courses at other institutions, or if I've taken courses in my home country, how do I mark those courses? So maybe what you could do is possibly you received, credit if you did a transfer or some articulation. So you can just mark those courses as similar. So let's say you've taken calculus somewhere else, not at Riverside City College or Norco College or Moreno College, but you can still mark it that you've completed that, even if it's a different course number, because you received credit, and you'll be attaching your unofficial transcript, so we will be able to view that. So even if you've taken courses elsewhere, you be sure to mark equivalent courses when you're filling out the form. In terms of the fellowship will be a hybrid format. So we will have some in-person events and then some virtual events. So most likely you'll be required to come to UCR campus Mondays and Wednesdays, and then the rest of the time, we would have some opportunities for virtual events. We're still finalizing the schedule, so you'll receive that information. But essentially, you're asked to commit about 33 hours a week for the fellowship. So Monday and Wednesday mornings, there will be workshops and talks, and then in the afternoon, there'll be scheduled team project time. And then the rest of the days we'll also have time scheduled for teams to work. And then on Fridays, we'll have opportunities for virtual talks and things like that. But you will be required to attend some in-person events, and you'll be asked to commit 33 hours a week for this program. Because obviously, it requires a lot of time commitment in terms of learning the material and working on these projects. There was a question about the timeline. So the application time was extended. So now the applications are due end of March 31st. So this is the final deadline. I would encourage you to apply earlier. The application is not that long. So I would encourage you to apply earlier so that we can start reviewing your application as soon as possible. And then we hope to review all applications within 2 weeks and get back to you in mid-April. So you should hear about whether your application is accepted or not in mid-April. And even if you're not accepted, this time next year that we have this program continuing on, and so you can definitely apply again next year. Someone asked, do we have to know Python or is C++ knowledge good enough? So any background in computing will be really, really helpful. If you know Python, then that's great because most likely this is what you're going to be using for your project, but any knowledge and programming will come in useful when you're working on your projects.
I'd like to add to that too. If you have a background in C++ or Java or anything, picking up Python, as long as you have a background in another language, Python will be very easy to pick up. So that shouldn't intimidate you at all. And I would suggest before you went for the fellowship that if you have a programming background, that you simply go in and spend a week beforehand becoming quite familiar with Python.
And for those of you who have taken Python courses with Dr. Lair and my course, CIS 30A, CIS 30A is also part of the associate degree and the certificate along with CIS 30E. So we opt in on all RCCD college campuses to offer these courses. And then some of your existing courses in math and also database, for example, if you have taken that, can also be accredited for your associate degree that's coming in 2023.
Jumping back to some of the questions, is this fellowship done every year? The answer is yes. So this grant funds this fellowship for 3 years. This is our first year. So we expect to have another cohort the following summer and the summer after that. So this is our first time offering this program. And it should continue on for 2 more years. There was a question about the references. So when you're filling out the application, you're not required to upload a letter, but rather just provide the names. And once you submit your application, then we will send an email, request for a recommendation to the person that you included as a reference writer. So, the letters could be, half a page long, describing how this person knew you and what capacity, how they can talk about your, let's say as a professor, they can talk about your academic performance in a particular course, or this was a job that you're working, and this is your manager providing a recommendation. They can talk about your job performance. Ideally, the letter should be from faculty and instructors that know you in an academic setting. But if you struggle with finding that, then including letters from other folks will be fine. But I'm sure that, if you ask faculty, they'll be more than happy to provide you a reference for this program.
Is the fellowship kind of aimed at people that want to pursue data science, or is it open to any STEM major?
So the fellowship is to allow students to gain skills in data science. So it is open to any STEM major. If you have, some background in data science, and that will definitely allow you to participate more in the fellowship, but it's not required. Essentially, we're looking to admit a very diverse cohort and get everybody excited about data science. So you definitely don't need to be, currently pursuing data science, but hopefully we can change your mind, and by the end of the experience, that's something that you'll be interested in. So I know that we talked about, certificates and associate's degree here within RCCD, and I just wanted to talk about that. We're essentially building this pathway so that students, if they're interested in attending UCR, they can join our data science program that launched very recently 2 years ago. So now we have a bachelor's in data science at UCR. And we're also creating a minor in data science and a master's degree. So you could definitely, start out at the community college, transfer to UCR, obtain your bachelor's in data science, and even go on and do a master's degree. So that's sort of the goal of these various pathways. And if you're unsure about data science now, maybe this fellowship is a good opportunity to, be immersed in those workshops and in the projects, and see if this is something you're interested in.
Miriam, can someone pursue a bachelor degree in computer science with a minor in data science? How much longer do they have to attend the classes, or how many more additional classes do you think that they have to take?
Yeah, so the minor at UCR that we're creating and should be available in the fall is actually only open to non-CS and non-stat students. Because statistics and computer science, you're already taking electives, and so you could do a concentration in data science by choosing your elective courses in that area. But the minor is just redundant because there's a lot of overlap. So the minor will be actually open to someone in biology that wants to do a minor in data science, or somebody who is pursuing a degree in psychology or whatever other program, and they want to gain that data analytics skills to help their career. So that's what the minor is currently offering. But as a statistics or as a computer science major, you have a wide set of electives to choose from. And so if you're interested in data science, you could just do a concentration in selecting only those courses in that area. There was one last question. Is there a minimum level of experience, education that you are looking for? So there's nothing really, we haven't said that this is sort of the minimum. I would encourage you to apply, because we are looking for students with diverse backgrounds, diverse majors to join this program. But definitely, if you have any statistic courses or any computing experience, that would be preferable, because you can jump into these projects and pick up the skills that you need. Someone asked, could we pursue a double major in statistics or CS and data science? You could definitely do that, but maybe it's too much. There is a lot of overlap between statistics, computer science, and data science. So, but I would say like double majoring will probably delay you a little bit. So I would not necessarily recommend it, but it's something that you could definitely, reach out to me if that's something that you're interested in, and we can discuss it in more detail. Someone asked, what would you be missing out if you pursue data science versus a computer science degree? So maybe what I could do, if that's okay, I don't want to diverge from the program, but I can share our website that talks about our data science program. So this is UCR's new data science program, and we offer a data science undergraduate major that is joint between computer science and statistics. And if you go to this webpage, and I'll put the link in the chat for anybody interested. You'll see that, if you visit this page where the data science major is being described, you'll see the course plans. So at UCR, when you're accepted and when you apply, you have to, select a college. So our data science program resides in both the Bourne College of Engineering and the College of Sciences. So you can apply to either one, just depending on, where you're interested more, a little bit more in engineering. So you can apply here. It doesn't really matter. You end up in the same place. You end up taking the same courses. You end up taking meeting the same faculty. The only difference is that Bourne College of Engineering, the college itself has different general education requirements versus the College of Natural Sciences. So you may want to take a look at what are general education requirements for BCOE versus CNAS, and based on that, choose one or the other. But this is the degree program. And so whether you're doing computer science or data science, you're going to take a sequence of computing courses. You're going to take, the basic general education courses, English, math, things like that. So the first year is basically the same. And the second year has a lot of overlap. Where things change is probably, in the end of year 2 and year 3. And so in computing, you'll be taking courses like operating systems, where you're figuring out, like Mac OS or Windows. How does that work? What is an operating system? In computing, you'll take more hardware classes, so you're required to take a course in embedded systems, these type of things. So there's about 3-4 classes that you're taking in computer science that you would not take in data science. Instead, in data science, you'll be taking a course called CS 105, Data Analysis Methods, and this is such a popular course. We have to now offer it 3 times a year, every quarter, and every quarter we have over 100 students signed up, because it's not just data science students who want to take it, we also have CS students who want to take it. And this walks you through like how to take data, how to analyze it, how to visualize it, how to do simple analysis. And then later on, you take courses like machine learning, where you dive into analysis and machine learning topics in more depth. You end up also taking more statistics courses that introduce data science concepts. You take courses on databases, and a course on big data platforms. So basically, the main difference between data science and computer science is that in lieu of hardware-based courses and courses that talk about operating systems or talk about automata theory, these type of things, we have these more applied and statistics-based courses in the data science program. So you can kind of compare the 2 plans. even as a computer science major, you can choose electives and take this course or a course in databases. So you could definitely plan out your electives in that way. But here you don't have to, settle on the electives. They're already part of your coursework. But in data science as well, you could also take additional electives. So if you suddenly became interested in other, CS courses, you could choose those as an elective. So that's, in a nutshell, the basic difference between these two degree programs. Did that answer your question?
So there were a few questions about timeline again. So the application closed at the end of March. And so normally that would take 2 weeks for your application to be reviewed, and you should get some response in April, whether your application is completed. There were some questions about whether this fellowship is going to run again in the following summer. So summer 2023, there will be another cohort like what Miriam has said, and also summer 2024 will be another cohort. So as the grant lives for 3 years. And also questions about coding. Is coding experience required? So if you didn't catch that earlier, it is recommended, but if you're new to coding and you're interested in data science and you approve for the fellowship program, it's a good opportunity for you to get your feet wet with Python. But if you have some coding experience, it doesn't have to be Python, it could be in other languages, that will be helpful, but we don't require coding experience. Is it open to all majors? It's open to all majors. So if you are from STEM or other area and you're interested in data science, this fellowship is a good segue into something that that you can build a career upon. And I will have the recording up and available maybe an hour or so after the meeting, and I will make it available on YouTube through my YouTube channel. I will share that out with the faculty, and so the faculty can share with their students, and I will also share this with my student in the course, the Canvas course room. Let me see anything else. Any other questions? I think we addressed some of the questions. As a student asked, we only had C++ experience. Is this going to disqualify us for the fellowship? No. Programming experience is always welcome. We don't expect you to have extensive coding experience overall. Other questions? Okay, I think that wraps up the session. We'll stick around for a few more minutes if you have additional questions. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording now.